Hey, good morning everybody. This is Patrick with your Patface Gaming video blog for today, Tuesday, February 3rd, 2009. Hope this blog finds you well and your week isn't too painful so far. A couple of things that we want to get to in the news this morning. First, I want to let you know, all you Xbox 360 fans, you can see I'm getting ready to do it right here. We have a new Xbox Live update. This update is specifically focused towards you who have had HDMI audio issues. This update is set to correct those. The update became live at 2 a.m. this morning, Pacific time, and I'm able to get it now. So if you haven't turned on your Xbox yet, you should shortly and be able to pick that up. Also, a couple of release date news for different games coming out. First, the Sandbox open world game Prototype, which will be coming for the PC, PS3, and Xbox 360. Date's been set for that. That game with looking like it has a lot of potential and a lot of excitement to jump into that open world kind of GTA juncture. That game is now scheduled to be released in June. This coming from a report from Activision during their New York Comic Con release. So exciting news. We now have a date for Prototype, and hopefully everybody over there will be able to make that date, and we'll get to see if it's a good game or not. In addition to that, for you Phantasy Star fans, we've talked about Phantasy Star Portable before here on the show, and that release date from Sega has actually been moved up, which you never hear about in the gaming industry. It's been moved up a few weeks to March 3rd, so all you PSP Phantasy Star fans, you will be able to get your hands on that game sooner than you thought, so thank you very much, Sega. Good news from there. Finally, in the news today, I want to give you a heads up that Amazon.com, we all know Amazon.com, now has opened their digital game store, releasing a huge number of games that you can now download through their service, similar to how you download their MP3s and etc. Most of the titles are casual titles, with Kotaku having an interview with Adam Hart, I believe, a Amazon.com executive, who said, the casual game is their audience. Amazon's got everything under the sun. It's really kind of what they're focused towards. And, there are a lot of opportunities for them to get into this market and download from somebody you trust as opposed to somebody maybe you don't. So Amazon's got that. You can go over at Amazon.com, and check that out if you have any interest in perusing through what they got. And there's a new competitor now on the digital licensing games digital download market. Finally, for today, it is Tuesday, which is our retro gaming day here on Patface Gaming. Want to take you back to a very special basketball arcade game that actually was the reason I bought my Genesis way back when I was, yay tall. Most of you have heard of this game, and you can tell it's old school because you can see my dad wrote our last name on the back of it. That's how you know it's authentic. NBA Jam was a game originally released in the arcade in 1993 by Midway. It was a sequel, if you will, to an old arcade and NES game, Arch Rivals, which was a 2-on-2 type of basketball game. Now, NBA Jam was also a 2-on-2 NBA basketball game, but it featured actual NBA players, and it was a huge arcade hit, and one of the key reasons that the Nintendo and Genesis were able to sell so many consoles in the early to mid 90s. Right when they'd both been out for a while and kind of were starting to slow down. This game comes out, a bunch of people jump on it, and this is a huge hit. And it's still a blast to play to this day. One of the games that hasn't come out on the Xbox Live Arcade or PlayStation Network or WiiWare that really should. It featured everybody except Michael Jordan, Shaq, and Charles Barkley in some cases, because of their licensing agreements with other companies outside of Midway and the NBA, the game actually wasn't able to hold them. But the game makes up for it with some amazingly fun gameplay, some half-court dunks, some on-fire, Boomshakalaka, all that kind of classic stuff that if you played this game you remember. And the other great part about it is you could go online now and find a bunch of codes for it, and back then, you'd have to go through your Nintendo Power or whatever the case may be. But not only does this quality game have some very good NBA basketball players in it, how about people like, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, even President Clinton and Vice President Gore at the time, much younger in their days, obviously in '93, were in the game, and you could play with them as playable characters. I mean, how cool is that? Warren Moon's in the game, former great quarterback in the NFL. Just a bunch of random people that really made the game that much more fun and entertaining. It's a true classic. It really sold so many different systems. My original Genesis came with that game. So that's the first game I ever got when I jumped into the world of 16-bit from my original Nintendo. So if you've got a line around, I definitely recommend picking it up and popping it in for old times. I had a couple of my buddies battle to the death in that game not too long ago, and we were co-oping against the computer, and it's a blast to play. It's really a ton of fun. So that's your game. That's your retro game for the day. Hope you enjoy. And as always, want to thank you for tuning in. That's going to wrap it up here. Just want to remind you, as always, first, thanks for tuning in. Second, patfacegaming.blogspot.com. Third, Patface Gaming is the YouTube channel. So long. Take care, everybody. We'll be back with another Patface Gaming video blog tomorrow for patfacegaming.blogspot.com. This is Patrick signing off. Hoping you have a great Tuesday. Take care, everybody.